Stop eating this and stop your yeast problems. Believe it or not, yeast is not really the enemy. Although it may seem like it is to those of us who are suffering from yeast infections, in actuality he serves a very useful purpose. After all, we would not have bread and even beer would not exist without yeast being present. Unfortunately, however, it can cause problems in our body that are definitely unwelcome, and if we are suffering from a yeast infection, it is difficult to think about the benefits of yeast in our lives. One of the main problems that is causing yeast infections in individuals is the fact that our bodies get thrown out of balance and it is unable to keep the yeast from growing to unnatural levels. It is easy enough for us to be able to correct that problem because we can do so by hydrating ourselves regularly or eating the right kind of foods, such as yogurt and apple cider vinegar. You might be surprised, however, with the fact that we are actually feeding the yeast infection in many cases by the foods that we are eating. Instead of thinking about what type of food you should eat in order to get rid of the yeast infection, why not try thinking about some of the foods that you are eating which might be irritating the matter. One of the worst offenders as far as foods is concerned is sugar. Many of us enjoy eating sugar and we get it in so many different forms that it is difficult for us to even realize when we are consuming it in the first place. The simple fact of the matter is, yeast loves sugar and it thrives on it. If we are eating sugar regularly, we are simply feeding the yeast infection. Remove it from our diet and we remove a lot of the ability of the yeast infection to grow. Another thing that you may be eating which could be causing yeast infections is processed foods. These are the mainstream of many of our diets, but a lot of the things that are contained within processed foods also help to feed yeast infections. Start to eat a more natural diet which includes plenty of fruits and vegetables and you will begin to see some of your yeast infections disappear as a result.